There we go. Just about to pull up to the Bottom Engineer Pass. We're on the Highway 550 side, Ouray side, and we're gonna park here and head on over. Looks like there's a few trailers there. Maybe I'll find a spot. You really want to try and get here in the mornings if you can, fairly early, because they do fill up pretty quick, and it can be hard to find a parking spot with the trailer. So that's it right there, straight ahead. Quite a few trailers here, but I think I can squeak in. So anyway, I'll show you here in a minute what it looks like. Well, here we go, guys. Engineer Pass, Highway 550. We're on the Ouray side, and we're gonna head up the Alpine Loop. And we're gonna go over to Lake City and eat, and then come back over, I believe it's called Rabbit Ears, to Nana's Forks, and then from Nana's Forks back over to Engineer, and then back down. So fun times. Let's do it. Wait for everybody to get out of the way here. Bumpy. Sorry about that. Doing this in my Kawasaki KRX. This is a 2024 SE. I do have 35-inch. I forgot the name of these tires. System 3. I think they're called 450s or 350s. They're pretty good tires. I like them. They're holding up pretty good. They ride smooth. No punctures, no cuts. Just beautiful up here. Look at that. All right, I'll get back to you in a minute. There's some really neat little sites here on Engineer. If you're willing to stop and look around a little bit, do some exploring. But this is probably 2.5 miles in. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. Man, that's cool. Look at that. idiots keep trying to drive up that thing. Bugger it up. This is the first real obstacle up here. Noticed I got my brakes on, the tires are turned, so if it rolls back, the machine will always roll into the mountain and not down the hill. I have a buddy who lost a Jeep off Imogene that way. But this is the first real obstacle. It's not horrible depending on the vehicle you're in. My buddy, 15, 20 years ago, brought a minivan over this Engineer Pass. And so the line to me is on the right. They put some rocks right there. If you can get a tire through there and a tire through here, they'll go right up and over that. Even in a stock Jeep, you wouldn't have any problems. I brought a diesel pickup over this about 15 years ago. So when you first see it, it's a little intimidating if you haven't been up here a lot. But you can kind of see the aspect ratio of it. But it's plenty doable. You just need to know how to drive. Beautiful, look at that. Snow slide, avalanche. Came across. That's beautiful. I find the line to the left to be the one I always take. And of course in a side-by-side, I'll go up this like it's not even there. But in my Jeep or in my diesel truck, it definitely makes you a little bit more concerned. Sorry for the jerking around. I've got some better camera gear coming. I'll give you a little bit more of a steady view, guys. Well, here's one of the worst challenges up here. And it is steep. But it's off camera, but it's not undoable. Depends on the vehicle you have, the wheelbase width, what you want to do, but this is not that bad. Most people will tend to hang right, just make a big loop. If you're in a four-wheeler or some kind of skinnier vehicle, you might end up with a bit of a more of a sketchy deal, but still plenty doable. They need a little bit more momentum to get out of there, I think. Just another tip, there are quite a few places to camp. They call it dispersed camping, but there's a lot of little off-roads like this that lead to campsites. So yeah, you can, they're actual official, like legit campsites. There's all kinds of like little spurs that come off and go to these old mines, and this is one of them. They restored that building. I'll show you in a minute. This one already collapsed. Unfortunately, they didn't get to it in time. I'll show you this here. So I don't think an avalanche got this one. I think it just straight up collapsed from no maintenance. And zoom out for you folks, but it's just the amount of the massive equipment and hardware that was in. They had to get all this stuff up with horses. It's just mind-blowing. Whenever you see those are old boilers that were used to actually power the winch, and that was part of the winch system. I don't know what that is. That's old smelter. They used to, I'm not sure what that is. I'm not a expert on this, but yeah, we'll jump back in. We're gonna run up to that building. I'll show you that in a second. Not a bad view, huh? All right, here we are back at the buildings I was gonna show you guys. These are, the only reason these are standing is these got restored. And the government came in here and did maintenance on them and repaired them. So they're still standing for us to enjoy. And you're not allowed to camp in these. And whenever you're in these old buildings, you need to be kind of diligent where you step, because you can go through the floorboards here, especially like upstairs. You could get yourself into some trouble. So we're gonna head upstairs here in a second. So it looks like the old cook stove, they had a bed over there, maybe like a living room. Second bedroom there. Not sure what that little room was, or what this little room's for, maybe just little bedrooms. And that's one of the entry doors. It's another one of the entry doors. And then let's go ahead and head upstairs here and see. They don't believe in making these too wide, man. If you're a fat guy, you'd have a hard time getting up these. Good thing I lost some weight. So we're upstairs. Let's get a little bedroom right here. There's part of the chimney for the other bedroom. Another bedroom up here. Man, if this place could talk, if these walls could talk. We'll head back down. Like I said, they don't really believe in wide stairs. It's like 24-inch wide stairs. And so, like I said, if you're an extra large or extra large, getting up here would be problematic. I'll head out this door. Trying to give you a shot of the side of the building here. It's just cool. Just cool. Looks like we got some hikers coming up behind me here, so I'll cut her short, but it's back and give you a perspective shot here. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. Well, here is one of the spurs. That trail you see up there is in fact Engineer Pass. And if you can see it at the very top, that, my finger, that right there, yes, I'm too cheap to get Band-Aids, is Engineer Pass to the left right there, right in that cut right there. That is it. This is one of the spurs that comes off of it. And it's kind of a maze of like roads back here, but we're going to be taking that one. That's going to go up. It's going to loop around over toward Anonymous Forks. And then we're going to come back up and go over Actual Engineer. But it's just beautiful down here. Just beautiful. Look at this. Look at that. Beautiful. All right, I'm back. So from right here, if you go that way, that's the actual pass. We're gonna go to the overlook, which is right over here. So straight ahead is like one of the main overlooks for Engineer Pass, and that is actually a pretty good overlook. And then behind us over there is the actual pass. This is just the overlook. But let me get out. I'll give you guys a 360 here. Zoom in just a hair. And you have to pardon the noise. It's busy up here, always is this time of year. This is the end of June. Well, here we go, Engineer Pass. That's the outlook over there. And you can, of course, drive to that. I just showed you guys that. And this is the actual pass itself. And then if you make it right, you can go down. This is still into June, so there's still a snowbank here. This was quite impressive a couple weeks ago. I'll dub in a video of the drone flying through that. But if you continue down this road, all the way out that valley, there's Lake City down there in about 14, 15 miles or so. 16 miles, something like that. All right, we're down from Engineer Pass, the actual pass, about 3 miles or so. And if you keep going to the road to the left, you'll go into Lake City. That's the main road. And there's a spur there that goes off to the right. And it goes way up to this dead-end road, but it's about 5-6 miles in. And it's a really cool mining camp. But it's a pretty rough road going in. It's narrow and rough. Jeep would make it just fine. I would not bring a full-size vehicle down it.